Good morning, guys. Press the wrong button there. There is the stinger. Everything sounds good on my end here. How's it going? This is Paul, half of Dads and Dice, and we're here for another Monday morning solo. This game is so pretty, and I see a copy of the con. I'm getting it. Morning, Pat. This is a pretty heavy game, so hopefully this playthrough either solidifies that decision or it turns you away from that decision a little bit. Good morning, Michael. Good to see you here. So yeah, we are going to be playing Galactic Cruise right up here. Just to preface it, this was given to us by the publisher. This will be my 5th play of this game. Good morning, George. I've played most of it solo. I did one two-handed run the very first play of it, and then Devin and I actually got to play it a little bit. Yeah, good filler game. So actually my thought was, excuse me, this is actually going to be my last Monday morning stream. I go back to work next Monday, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So I kind of wanted a little bit of a longer one today. So figured we'd do this one and, get a good game in on a Monday morning. So we'll go ahead and flip over here to this top down. This game is massive. I have a 3.5 by 3.5 table, and this takes up everything but this part of my table. So it is almost edge to edge. I've actually had to move up the player boards onto the board just a little bit, so that way you guys can see the bottom. And you still can see all the point scores at the top, so that was good. We're cutting off part of this market board as well. Actually, no, we're not. I was able to do it to where it's not cut off as much. So this game is massive, real big table presence. And everything about it is modular. I'm not going to do a full teach on this game just because I will not do a great job of doing that, but I will kind of talk out my actions, and I'll do a quick little overview of the game. Turns me away from a game, no way. I'm a sucker for solo games. Heavy doesn't actually matter. You're a teacher. It's what you are in your core. Not unfortunately, your kids are going to have a blast. I appreciate it, yeah. It is fun to go back to school, but it's also nice to just have mornings off and get to do your own thing. So let's kind of go into this game a little bit. I'll do a quick overview, and let me figure out my scenes here. Okay, so this is the main player board, or half of the main player board. It's broken up into a couple sections. So this right here are your agendas, and agenda cards are pretty much just like a I'm going to say one-time use. They're one-time use, multi-use cards, and they give you some type of ability that boosts an action that you're performing, or it gives you a little boost whenever you're returning your workers or something. So you have these that are going to be over here. And there's an action for you to get those, and we'll get through those for a little bit. And actually, while I say that, I need an agenda card to start off with. So we're going to take this one. So my starting agenda is going to be the trade union. So with the worker you place this turn, take a free action from an adjacent location as long as there are at least 2 developments connecting you to it. Do not pay other players. This is not an action. So I get an extra action doing that. Now, not only do I have to use this for the ability that the card gives, there's also a resource down here at the bottom that I can use this for. Agenda, mini quests, boons. So that is a trade union. This right here, the agendas. This section of the board right here, these are going to be our goals, which I'll show our, you can kind of see them, but I'll change the scenes in a little bit. These are going to be our goal cubes. So once we fulfill a goal, one of these cubes will go into this progress bar. This progress bar is the timer of the game. So we're going to be playing through 3 years. Now, in reality, this first year is about half of the game. So once this gets filled, the rest of the 2 get filled pretty quickly afterwards. So That's what that is. There's a couple symbols on here that we do for round cleanup stuff. Let's go here for the goals that we're going to be completing. So my goals are slightly different than the AI's goals. For me, I'm going to need to have 2 sets of developments and technologies. So I'll go into what those mean in a little bit. But once I have 2 sets of developments and technologies, I'll be able to score that goal. If the AI gets their goal before me, this little thing will move up, and then I have to get 3 of them. Now, this middle goal is to build out 7 sections of my rocket ship. So I have my rocket ship here. And then this is to launch 3 ships. To go into the theme a little bit of the game so that kind of makes sense to you guys, we are, I think we work at a Galactic Cruise company factory, and the CEO is about to retire. And so he's trying to find out who his replacement can be. So over 36 months, 3 years, we are trying to prove that we can put on the best galactic cruises. So we're going to be scheduling cruises, be building out rocket ships with our pieces here into the actual engines and the cockpits. We're going to be gaining reputation and stuff like that. So at the top up there, those are technologies. These are development tokens. The gray ones are just the neutral players. So those technologies that we have available, the first one is all launches require 1 fewer gas. This one is all builds cost 1 fewer. During a day in space, your pilot can act as any color. We'll get into how that works later. And then all customers cost 1 ad fewer when adding them to a cruise or a ship. Now let's go to this part of the board here. We have our blueprints. These are the things that are going to get built into the ship, and they've got pretty cool names. You've got an opera theater, you have the dining deck, the one that I have in my playing area is the distillery. And what you'll notice is you have these different colors. So this is purple, this one has both blue and orange. This is the 0G circus. So each of those colors represent different activities that we're going to be doing once we go out into space. Your orange customers are adventurous, and they've got these little jetpacks on, screen printed on, because they're adventurous customers. You have your purple, who are relaxing. They want to relax on this cruise, so they're going to do things like the distillery, the dining deck, stuff like that. It's got a little martini glass. I don't know if you can, it's not focusing. And then we've got these blue ones, which are the family. So they've got a little child in front of them. So it makes sense when you have that 0G circus, that is going to appeal to families and to adventurous people. Right here is the solo deck. I'll explain how that works. And then this right here is the silo. This is where we can gather resources if needed. Reputation track, like I mentioned, you will gain that as you do stuff throughout the game. And then we have all of our actions here in the middle. So like I mentioned, this game is 100% modular. All of these actions can be kind of anywhere. So this is the layout that we got for this one. All the technologies are modular as well. So for these actions, this one here is gaining resources and ads. That one is refreshing this agenda. It doesn't refresh on its own. It's actually an action that you have to do. Over here, scheduling a cruise, getting money to refill resources, getting out your expert workers, getting out your developments and technologies, gaining resources, building blueprints, gaining blueprints. So gaining the blueprints over here, building the blueprints into your area. And then finally, we have getting new cockpits and engines, and then advertising to customers. So again, I'll explain those as we're going throughout the game. I know it is a lot going on, and that is a-okay, because this game, like I said, pretty massive. So I've got my timer started, and we're gonna go ahead and get playing. So a couple things before we begin here. I am going to be first player. The AI, her name is Rachel, will be second player. And What I have to do is actually in reverse player order. We're going to place out a development onto the board somewhere. So they place it based on this solo deck. So there's some numbers down here. So it's going to place it in the first one. If it can't do the first one, it does the second one. So it's going to place the development onto section 3. I'll get these buttons down. 1, 2, 3. So it's going to take a reputation, and then it's actually going to bump up a reputation there. And then for me, what actions do I want to connect here? So I start off with 10 money, couple ads. Agenda cards are generally pretty good to get early, I feel like. Also, getting blueprints is free. That's always nice. Resources is good. Let's take this food one and let's put it here. So that's going to gain me a reputation there. All right, so it is leading on the reputation track. One thing that I didn't mention is now we have these developments on your turn, which actually I'll just go ahead and show you right now. You're going to take one of your workers. We have 2 unlocked workers at the start, and then we have some expert workers that will be unlocked later, barring some things that we have to do. So what I'll do is I will come out to the board, and I am going to go right here. And so for there, I get to perform 2 actions. And I can do both of these actions. You can only do them once. So I could do this one once and this one once. Or if there is a development tile next to it, you can perform one of the adjacent actions. So since this is my color, I don't have to pay anything, and I have access to these 2 actions as well. This neutral one is adjacent as well, and I could use it, but I would have to pay 2 money because my reputation is low down here. So once my reputation goes up, it would only cost 1 money. But as of right now, I have to pay 2 money in order to use this technology. We're not going to do that just yet. So what we're going to do here is, first thing, we're going to gain some agenda cards. And I like this one here. This is Helping Hand. So it says, when another player bumps your worker, I gain 3 additional funding bonuses. And I'll explain what those are in a little bit. And then I also really like this one here. And this one is Connections. So I pay 2 resources or 2 money when I build out a development instead of the listed cost. That's good because it makes stuff cheap. At most, you can only have 5 agendas. So right now I'm sitting at 3. So I use this action here. And now for my second action, I'm going to go ahead and advertise to some customers. So let's go over here. And we're going to start advertising to some customers here. So what we do is we need to pay ads. We're taking out ads on these people because we're trying to get them to come to our cruises. So we're going to go here. We're going to advertise to this cruise. This cruise, actually, I'm sorry, we're going to advertise to this cruise. This cruise, it's got a relaxation destination on it. So it would like a purple person. You don't need a purple person, but it would like one. So I'm going to pay 1 ad to advertise to this person to come to this cruise. And then we'd like to fill up the cruise. Why not? So there's 2 spaces that we can advertise to. So I'm going to spend another ad. And I'm going to advertise to this family. So the family can come along there. So I've advertised to them. This cruise is not scheduled. That's a separate action. I've only advertised to them. But what this is do is it's going to give me some money and some reputation. So down here it's telling me I get 1 money per destination, per destination of that color. So I'm going to get, I think that's what it is. No, of any color. So I believe that's 2 money. Let me double check that just to make sure. And then this one gets 1 reputation because it's matching. So I gain a reputation there. And let me just double check that money thing. I believe that's what it is. Buildings, refreshing, advertising the cruise, 1 money per destination on that cruise. So yeah, it's only 1 money that no, per guest. 1 money per guest. Okay. All right, so that was my action. I went out, did all that stuff, got my people, got my money. Now it is turn of the AI. So their turn's pretty simple. They do a couple things. So first thing that they're going to do is they're going to flip this card over. They're going to place this worker in this spot right there, which is here on the board right here. The action that they're going to perform is the agenda action. So the agenda action over here, they're going to take these 2 and just discard them. And I'm going to have to move the agendas so that I can actually refill stuff later. Okay, we're going to put them here for now. Okay, so they've done that action. Now, what the solo does is how I take 2 actions, they would like to take 2 actions as well. If they end up on this spot or adjacent to this spot with a development in between, they will perform another action. They are not on that spot. They're not adjacent to that spot either. So they're not going to do another action. They're only doing their 1 action. Okay, so then it's back to me. It would be nice to develop. Could do it for cheap. It would also be nice to get some stuff. Get some resources. I have money. Maybe I start developing a little bit. Let's do that. So we're going to get my worker. Then that bumps them out, which is okay. It's not the end of the world if I bump them out. I think we're just going to do that. So we're going to go here and we're going to bump them out. So how this works is there's really no blocking on the spaces. But what you do is you come in and you bump them out, and then this person will come back to their board and they will actually get a funding bonus. So this one's going to go there. All the funding bonuses are listed here. And so for me, when I get a funding bonus, I can get a money, I can get an ad, I can get a victory point, or I can gain a resource. The AI is always going to take victory points, so they're going to get 1 victory point right now. Okay, so I'm going to do my action here, and that's going to be to develop. So to develop, I'm actually going to use this agenda card, which is connections. So it's going to be paying 2 resources or 2 money when I build instead of the listed cost. The listed cost is actually, this one is 5, this one is 6, this one is 7. And you can do that by paying resource or money. I have plenty of money, so I'm going to do this one here. And that's going to cost 5. So what I'll do is I'll lose, oh no, I'm sorry. That's going to cost 2 because we're using this. So I'm going to use 1 resource and 1 money, and then that is my 2 payment. This agenda will go away up here. Now, I can always gain agendas from here. I just lose a reputation. So, and then I get to put out a development. And for my development, we're going to go right here. That's going to gain me a reputation. Okay, so that was my first action. That was this one. Now for my second action, I'm going to get my expert worker out. Because why not? Maybe I just wait. I wait on my expert worker for now. I'm going to make him a little bit cheaper, and then we'll get him. So what I'll do instead is I will gain 3 resources using this action here. And so those resources will come from here. So we're going to gain 2 oxygen, 1 gas, and let's do 2 food, 1, 2. So 1 gas, 2 food, 1, 2. All right. Those are my 2 actions that I've done. So I did the develop, and then I did the resources. Okay, now we are going to go back to the AI. So they're going to flip this card over. Actually, first thing that they do is they check to see if they have workers. They do have workers. So this one is now going to go here. And they're going to perform the build action. So the AI, or Rachel, does stuff a little bit differently. She just builds directly from the blueprints. So she is going to grab 2 blueprint tiles, starting with number 6. There is no 6, so we're actually going to do number 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is no 6, so it's going to do number 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's going to grab both of these, which are the ones that I wanted, but that's okay. And then she's going to build them directly into her ship. So Rachel now has a dining deck and an ice cream emporium on her ship. So that was one action. Now we check, are they on that space? They are on that space that they performed that action on. So now they're going to perform a second action. In that second action, we're just going to flip the card. They're not going to put out another worker. They're just going to perform that action. So this one here says they can get out their expert worker if it costs 7 or less for the first one. How we look at cost is we look at developments for this one. For every development that is still in your player area for oxygen and food, you multiply that by 2. So right now, this expert worker costs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. So that is not less than 7. It's not going to unlock that one. To unlock this one here, you multiply these 4 tiles by 3. So this one costs 12. So it is not going to do this one yet either. So then it moves to the bottom action. It's going to place out a technology development. So we're going to grab this one and a technology development, and it's going to go on number 1 right there. So then it gains a reputation. I didn't mention it. The AI's goals, or Rachel's goals, is to build out 6 developments. So that's this one right here. It's going to go on that one. So right now it has 2 out and wants to build out 6 of them. For buildings, it needs to have 6 pieces built. Each ship is 3, or can hold 3 sections. And then it also wants to ship out 2 different airplanes, or I'm sorry, cruises. All right, so it's done with its turn. Now it's to me. So I have no more workers on my player board. So what I have to do now is I have to call a meeting. So I'm going to get everybody back. And when I call a meeting, I get these funding bonuses. So this person comes back, this person comes back. I get funding bonuses, and I'm going to take 2 money for now. And then I do get to perform an action. And so that action is going to be something that is connected to your developments. So you can do any adjacent action connected to your developments. I'm going to do, and I know the action that I want to do, but I'm not connected to it. I'm going to build, let's see. I think I'm going to do another, no, I'm not going to do another development yet. I'm going to, I don't need to schedule a cruise. I can't do that anyway. Oh, these should refresh. So a kid zone and space carts. Good thing I advertised this in families. Maybe I just want to build out a development. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll build a development. I'll build this one that cost 5. And we're going to place it here. And then all my ship costs are 1 fewer to build. That might not be the best. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to do that. Okay. I only need 1 more technology, and then I've got my first goal completed. Okay, so that is my action. Now we're going to go to Rachel. Rachel does have a worker. So we're going to flip over this card. And they're going to schedule a cruise, which is here. They're not bumping anybody out, so they have scheduled a cruise right here. So what they do to schedule a cruise, let me remember. They go here. So number 2, 1, 2. And they're going to try to find matching colors. So they go here. They start from the bottom up. The bottom costs 1 ad. This is 2 ads. This is 3 ads. So it's going to take the cheapest ones. So it goes there. Can't do anything else. So then it comes back up here and it gets another orange one. So that is what they've done. And they will gain 2 reputation for that. 2 orange people, an orange destination. 2 times 1 is 2. They gain no money. So that was their action. And they went to that space. So they get to perform another action. So they will now... Oh no, they took what I wanted to do. That's okay. They were going to take 2 agenda cards. There are no more agenda cards. So instead they're going to refill the agenda market. And whenever you refill, you gain the bonus that's listed available, which is why I want to do it. They don't get any of these except for a reputation, so they are going to get another reputation, and then the cards will get refilled. Just a little bit too slow when I went. Okay. All right, now it is my turn. So I don't need to refill agendas anymore. Gaining some would be okay. Oh, okay. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here. I'm going to get 2 agendas. So this first one is extra blueprints. It says you may take up to 3 additional blueprints. You may refill the display after taking the first 2. So I can take 5 blueprints, which should be the most. Kinson Key, hey, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. This is the publisher of the game. So good morning to you. So I'm taking these extra blueprints. and possibly the designer of the game too. Not sure exactly who I'm speaking to. So we can get up to 5. So we just took 1. Let's take another one. You may exceed your maximum ship capacity by 1 segment on one of your ships. So we could make it a 4. You know what? I'm actually going to lose a reputation, and I'm going to take this connections because this one was good for the developments. So that's my 2. Then I'm going to perform this blueprint action by using this one here. So we will, we need blues and purples. So let's take these 2 first. Oh, I'm not going to be able to hold 5 of them. I'm sorry, 6 of them. That's okay. We don't need to take all of them. So this one will be discarded. It says I can refill them, so we're going to refill them and then take 2 or see what 2 more come out. Cool. We're going to take those 2. And I'm actually going to be at my capacity for 5. Okay, then these will come out to refill that stack. Readjust these a little bit so that they're easier to grab. Okay, so that is my turns. I'm good. Now we're going to move over to Rachel. And so Rachel's going to perform their action. They're going to flip this over. Actually, they do not have any workers. So they're not going to perform an action. So they're going to recall their workers. And they're going to get funding bonuses. So again, they only take victory points for their funding bonuses. So they're going to get 2 victory points. And then that is all they do. They do not, on the medium difficulty, they don't get an action. So 2 victory points for Rachel. Okay, back to me. Ooh, I should have. That's okay. That would have been pretty good to do. If I would have built out another technology, this agenda card would have given me 5 money for placing a cube out for finishing a goal. Rachel is not close to finishing any goals, so I'm not in a huge hurry to do that. But what I should do is build. So let's go here. And we're going to build. So I'm going to build one of my 5 here. And all of them are going to cost me 1 fewer because I got that technology. So this one will cost me 4. Money. Money, money, money. This one will cost me 2. So that is 6 money total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so that is that cost, and they will go into my ship. Pat, it's real good to see that you've been staying busy. I'm real happy for that. Okay, so we've got that there. We've built. Now for my other action, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to get these agendas. So I'm going to get this one. If I add a cube, I get 5 money. And then I'm also going to get, when you call a coffee break, you may forfeit all of your to gain 6 money instead. Or do I exceed my ship capacity and make a 4-level ship? I've never done that before. Might be interesting. Let's go with this one for now. So I'm actually at my capacity for agenda cards now also, so I can't get any more unless I spend them for resources or anything like that. Yeah, you and Lost Wife both. So I'm packing. Oh yeah, yeah. You don't want to talk about my site. What do you mean? Oh, our app? Not sure what you mean there. When do you leave for Gen Con? Okay, so I performed my 2 actions. I did agenda, and then I built, and then I got some agenda cards. To Rachel. Rachel has workers now. They're going to flip over the card. They are going to go here, and they're going to bump me out, which is cool. And there, I'm going to spend this one. So another player bumps your worker, gain an additional 3 funding. So I should get 4 funding bonuses. Let's get 2 ads. Let's get 2 money. Yeah, I'm sure your wife is very happy that you are staying busy. Okay, so then they are going to perform the gain resource action, which is here. So they're going to try to gain 3 food. So we're going to look over here. What they do is they look at the agenda cards and they gain the resources that are visible on here. So if there's ever 0 or 1 card on this track, they cannot perform that action. I believe that's what it is. Either way, they can't perform it because they can't gain 3 from here. So what they're going to do instead is perform the bottom action, and they are going to raise up one of these, the lowest one. So they're going to raise up this, not the lowest one, the one that they couldn't take, which is this one, and that's going to go all the way to the top. They're going to gain a reputation. Now, with that being said, they actually took that bottom action, which is not connected, so they cannot do that. In this case, if she could gain 3 food, she would. Yes, exactly. There you go. Thank you. I appreciate that. So they're not doing that, and so they're not connected to this action here, so they're not going to take another action, and that is it. Ooh, very cool, Pat. We're going to have to talk about that. Okay. So that was Rachel's action. Now it's back to me. I have a worker. Now it would be nice to kind of re-up those things, maybe get some resources. Could get development. It would have been nice to been able to do the silo over here, but it did it, which is fine. We're always going to be bumping each other out. Could also build. No, then I'd bump it out. Not that that won't happen, but let's go. Let's go here. So I'm going to bump out the AI. So what they do is they cannot bump each other or themselves out. If my player color was here, it wouldn't be able to bump it out. So it's going to go to the next empty space. Or to, if blue was there, it would have gone to blue. Now the action that I'm going to get is I'm going to refill the agenda cards, gaining these bonuses. So I'm going to gain a reputation. I'm going to gain 1 money. Then I'm going to gain a resource of my choice. Let's gain an oxygen. And then we're going to refill these. So this goes away. These come out. Pay 4 fewer money when hiring an expert worker. Gain additional money per resource added. And 1 additional reputation. That's when you do the silo action. When launching, you may spend money instead of a resource. And then on your turn, reveal the top 4 cards of the agenda. Choose 1, gain the resource, and then discard the rest of them. Okay. That was this action. No, I'm sorry. We were up here. That was this action. And then I can do this one. So I'll spend 1 money to gain 2 resources. I'll gain another oxygen and then a gas. And then I'll spend 1 money to get 2 ads. So there's my 2 money. And there's my 2 ads coming to me. All right, those are my 2 actions. Now we're going to go over to Rachel. Rachel does have a worker available. They're going to come in here and they're going to bump me out. So they move in here, they bump me out. I get a funding bonus. Money's always good. And then they're going to perform this action here. So they're going to try to gain resources. They can. So what they do is they start up on number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to gain 1 oxygen, 1 food, and 1 more oxygen. So I know you can see me move them down. There was 2 oxygens left, and they brought the food down. So they were able to complete that action. And they just went here. They are connected to that action by one of their developments, so they get to perform a second action. Even if another development was there, they would just pay for it. And really, it would only be, they would pay for me if mine was there. So they get to do another action, which is hiring a master, or an expert worker. It's still not less than 7, so they're going to move down here. They're going to put out a development, and they're going to start on number 1, which is here, and they are going to gain that reputation. They're killing it with reputation. Okay. That's their actions completed. So then we will come back to me. I'm unsure what I want to do. Maybe I just schedule a cruise. Schedule a cruise, bump up oxygen, get some money, build out some more sectors. Get a technology, get my master worker. If I bump them out here, it bumps them out. Actually, if I take any of these actions, it's going to bump them out. So this would be the only one that doesn't bump them, and I don't really want to do that. So let's go here. So this one will move down here. They get a funding bonus, so they're going to get a victory point. All right. So for my action. So should I go get a grate for Odin for 50? Feast for Odin, I'm assuming is what you're saying. Because if so, that is a terrific game. But yes, it does need some type of insert. Actually, I have the what is it? I just lost it. I have the folded space insert for it, and it makes it pretty nice. But it does come with a good little resource tray in it that I suggest you keep. Okay, we're going to do a technology. And for this technology, we're going to pay 2. We're going to do connections. And so we'll pay 1 food and 1 money. And we'll get rid of this one. And that's going to go there. And we're going to put this up here. All people cost 1 ad from now on. It's going to gain me a reputation. And now I actually have my first goal. So I have a set of technologies in development and another set of technologies in development. So that is 2 sets. So that is this first goal here. So I will bump this up. Not that it affects the AI, but I've bumped that up. I've completed my first goal. So this little cube will go into there, and that has progressed the game a little bit. And then I'm actually going to spend this agenda card. So it says if you add a cube to the progress area, gain 5 money. So we're using that. So I've gained my 5 money. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. If you can find the Norwegians expansion, super awesome. Okay. So that was my first action, the developments. And now my second action, I'm going to build. Nope, because I can only do one build. I'm going to get my master or my expert worker, and he is going to cost 1, 2, 3 times 2, which is 6. So he's going to cost 6 money. Although this is pretty nice. That's okay. 6 money is not bad. Yeah, so we're going to pay 6 money. And I'm going to get my expert worker, and he's going to come out and immediately give me a funding bonus, which will be a money. All right, those are my 2 actions. We will go over to Rachel. Kinson Key, if you are still there, are you going to be at Gen Con this weekend? Or is it this weekend? I think it is. I wish I was going to be there. Pat's going to be there. I'll be at a local con. Okay, so here, they are actually going to do their first launch. Booth 2858. There you go, Pat. Go check out Kinson Key Games. And you could probably, I'm sure, play a demo of the game so that way you can play it a little bit before you decide to get it. So 2+, they're going to launch. Their worker doesn't go there, so they will do their countdown. Okay, so let me remember the steps. They are going to... Rachel chooses a cruise ship based on the number system. That's right. So 2, 3. So they're going to get this one. So their worker goes there. I believe they lose reputation also. Let me see. Yes, so she's going to lose 2 reputation because they over advertised for the cruise ship. There was 2 people there, but they can only take 1. So they did that. Got all that. Cool. Should take this as well. They're going to place out a cube. I'm pretty sure all the official demo events are sold out, but there will be a library. There you go. Perfect. So they're going to put out a cube right there next to mine. They are then going to pay resources. They pay resources slightly different. So what they're going to do is they have 3 gas here, and this cruise is actually 4 gas. So they don't have enough to launch that ship. So what they do, I believe, and if you can correct me if I'm wrong here, they lose reputation in order to gain that resource. So they would go back 1 and they will gain 1 resource. I'll have to get a number later. Demo in Tamagotchi dice game. What is that Tamagotchi game, Pat? All right, so I believe that was correct there. If they didn't have enough resources, let's see. Reducing a reputation tracker, plus the required one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I should have been doing there. Next, they will score their ship. And so how they score their ship, it's adding the VP listed on the cockpit to all the VP segments. So this will be 1, 2, because this scores for every segment that's built. Oops, sorry. This will be for every segment that's built. So that's 1, 2, and then they score the VP on there. So that's 3, 4, 5. So they will get 5 victory points. I'll do that in a second. We flip it over, we load up. They take any of these, it doesn't matter which one. It's not the criteria, just the literal printed number. So total of 4, not 5. Not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not sure exactly what total of 4, not 5 means. Oh, yeah. Okay, so on here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I see. I see what you mean. Interesting. Oh, on my other plays, I've always multiplied it. Good to know. Okay, so that is 4. That makes it a little bit nicer. So I took the, and now they're going to upgrade. Cool. So this comes on here, and then Rachel is tricky like that, always trying to eke out that win. Rachel's a little sneaky one. Okay, so we're going to refill the cruises now. So let's go up here. So this is the new cruise, and we're going to move all blue and purple down, and then we will refill with one person that went on the cruise ship, and it's going to be a purple. Okay. Head to head, razor gashi dice. Bluffing game. Interesting. I'm going to move my mic up a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right, so they performed their action. They have a thing in space. We didn't put out a cube for them, and they didn't get their 4 points. So they will put out a cube here. Oh, no, they already did put out a cube. I'm sorry. We need to get their points. So 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That is it for them. Okay. So I would like to get something shipped off. I also need to get stuff built. It is pretty easy to find stuff on this board. You're right, Pat. Okay, what am I going to do? Getting a cube out would be great. Then I could trigger the round scoring. But in order to do that, I need to send somebody out, or I need to send out a ship. I don't necessarily want to send out this 2-piece ship. I would like to send out a 3-piece ship. So maybe I just go ahead and build. So what we're going to do is we will go here with my master worker. We are going to have 3 money. I was going to build from here, but that is not good. To go here and build. But then I don't have the ship, and I don't want to just build one thing. I need money again, of course. Always need money. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna bump this guy out, the AI or the neutral. I can't bump myself out. It doesn't bump itself out, so it bumps Rachel out. Rachel's gonna get 1 victory point. I'm gonna perform these actions here. I'm gonna schedule a cruise, so I will schedule this one. And whenever I schedule a cruise, I get to flip over something from my board, one of these tokens. And I'm saying I need money, so I'm going to flip over this one that gives me 4 money. 3, 4. And then, so I scheduled my cruise. I'm going to trade in this agenda, bump the oxygen all the way to the top, gaining 5 more money and a reputation. I got asked to come to Lynx's school and teach dice throwing to the new class. Oh, that's awesome. That's real cool. You got to be one of those volunteer parents. I love that. When I was at my old middle school, I used to run a board game club every, I forget what day, But it was awesome just having all the kids in there. So you would teach them one game like once, and then they could kind of play it. Dice Throne would be perfect for it. So maybe ask the school if you could have like a Dice Throne club or a board game club or something. That would be awesome. Okay, I'm sorry. I did whenever I did my expert worker. The ability that we have for this game is that whenever your expert worker bumps somebody out, you get a funding bonus. So I'm going to go ahead and take that right now. And so for my funding bonus, I'm going to get in money. Money, money, money. Yeah. Oh, they have one. That's what I'm going to teach. That's awesome. Okay, back to Rachel. Oh, so this is the first time we've seen this. They are going to do their day in space. So how this works is they are going to, and it's actually, let me remember, they're going to go to orange. And so they're going to drop this off there. They don't have to pay any ads or anything like that. They're going to score for each of their orange people. So they're going to get 4 victory points there. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, they're kind of taking off on me. All right, but this should really be kind of, all right, I'm sorry, their turn. I'll come back to me in a second. They're going to place a worker here, bumping me off. I'm going to get an ad. They are going to ship out something that has 3 or more sectors in it. They don't have that, so they're not going to be able to do that. So instead, they're going to build. And so they're going to build number 1. So they will get 1 and 2. They're also going to get a engine and cockpit. So I'm going to have to kind of stack these up a little bit just because got a lot of space. And for the engine bonus, they are actually going to get 2 victory points. They don't get an agenda card, but they do get the victory points. 2. 1, 2. To build out, they need to build out 6, so they're at 4 right now. So we're good. Okay. They're going to see if they were connected to this action. They are not. The build action is down here, so that is the one action that they get this turn. All right, to me, I need to build. And then I need to ship off. Okay, so we're going to go here. I'm going to kick them out. It's unfair how... Actually, no, this is okay. This is fine. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. We're going to build, and we're going to build... Doesn't matter. These... Oh, that's why. We can only build 1. That's okay. I think it's worth it to just build 1. We'll build this expensive one, which is 3. 1, 2. And that's going to go into my ship. So that was building. And then... I don't really like any of those agenda cards. Let's refill this. Got a tanning deck and a tea room. Okay. Do I gain resources? Probably should. So let's gain resources. We'll gain 1 food. We've got enough oxygen, 1 gas, and let's gain another food because that is maxing it out there. Okay, going over to Rachel. Oh, they have one. That's who I'm going to teach. Oh. All right, their turn. Oh, I'm sorry. They don't have a worker. I didn't see what that action was, so that was good. And before they do that, they come out here in space. So this moves up. It's blue. And I believe they still score them. Let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Sorry, let's see. Advancing cruises, destination. If it's the first, yep, they drop it off. Regardless if it's first, they score all the guests. Yeah, so they're going to get 3 points for that because it's one worker on there. So they get 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And now they're going to do an action. They actually don't have any people on their board, so they're going to recall their one person. Get a victory point. Okay. We are going to call a meeting, so all of our people are going to come back. I could give up 3 funding bonuses and just get 6 money. And I probably don't need money in the foreseeable future. Let's not do that yet. Let's get 3 ads. Then I get to perform an action, and we are going to build out a development. It's going to cost me 6, and we're going to go here. So that gains me a reputation, and it cost me 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did not use my technology when I built, so I'm going to get 1 coin back. Okay, to Rachel. So they're going to move now to a day in space. They gain 1 reputation per person on their ship, so they gain 1 reputation. And then they're going to perform their action. They're going here. They're going to gain 2 agenda cards, or discard 2 agenda cards, number 4. So that's this one and this one. And they're actually adjacent to that action with their thing, so they get to perform 1 more action, and it's buying their master worker. It's not cheap enough yet, so they're going to put out a development, and it's going to go on space 3. 1, 2, 3. They've already got one there, so it's going to go here. Okay. Cool. Now I get to actually launch off a ship. You know what? I should have definitely taken this. I'm going to go ahead and do this now. There's not going to be another chance where I really have to when all the other workers are going to be coming out. So we're going to say I did that, and we'll put it underneath these 2 just so that I don't have access to it again. Okay, so for my ship, I'm going to launch a ship. So we start with 5. We're going to gain my cruise. Again, this game is massive, so I've got it kind of on top of the board there. That's okay. I'm going to bring my people over. I advertise to 2 people, so I don't have to lose any reputation there. I'm going to place a cube. And so now this is completed, so we're going to trigger our annual meeting at the end of this. I'm going to pay my resources. So food, you need 1 food per person on the ship, including your pilot. So that's 3 food. 1, 2, 3. and I don't have the technology for the gas, so it's going to cost me 2 gas. And then we pay for oxygen per cabin, for per sector, so not including the cockpit or the engine. So you got 1, 2, 3. We're going to score our rocket ships. So this is 1 victory point per sector, so that's 3 points there. 1, 2, 3. We're going to flip over my cockpit, which I already did. We're going to drop off this little token down here. And then we're going to set up a new cruise. So my person needs to go back. This cruise is going to come out. Move all oranges down. There are no oranges. I put out 2 people, so 2 oranges come out up here at the most expensive. Okay, that was my action. Now we're going to go ahead and trigger this here. So how this works is we will be, we're going to be gaining victory points based on the number of wings that are visible per cube that you have on the progress bar. If you are the highest in reputation, which at this point we are actually tied, we're both going to get a cube. So I have 1, 2 times 1, 2, 3 with my reputation times 2. That's 6 victory points for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then they have 1, 2 with the reputation times 1 is 2 points for them. 1, 2. Okay. Now, since we're playing a solo or a 2-player game, we do have to do a little bit of upkeep. And so that is going to be, we're going to flip one of these technology tiles over. And we're going to place out some green things. This one will go here. This one will go here. And this one will go here. And then this master worker, this basic worker gets exchanged for an expert worker, and they will try to bump out people no matter what. Except for it being themselves. They will not go to empty spaces. They will try to bump people out. Okay, so that is it for upkeep there. Now, like I mentioned at the very beginning of the game, this is probably about halfway point in the game. So this is kind of where it takes up a lot to build, but we're about the halfway point in the game. Okay, it's going to be Rachel's turn. We're going to have to shuffle up their deck. We're going to have to refill out that rocket ship that I haven't done. Okay, I need to get another rocket ship. I need to get it built out. Oh, now that I think about it, I should have probably gotten that agenda card that let me build 4, because this goal is 7. So that would take me 3 rockets to build out 7, and I don't know if I want to do that. Okay. There's one thing that I want to check with the goals for the AI. Let me just see that real quick. Place a solo on the appropriate spaces depending on your chosen difficulty. Yep, got that. Okay. Kinson Key, if you're still here, I'd appreciate a rules check just to make sure. Their goals, so they have the development goal, the building goal, and then the ship launch goal. Are those associated with these here? So like, is the development goal their first goal? Is the building one their second one? And is the launching one the third one? So like, let's say they complete this one first, will that bump this up? Or if they do this first, will that bump this one up? Or if they do the development one, they just bump up the next one. Not 100% sure how that works. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, so it's not just the next available one. So like if they get this development one next, nothing happens over here. Perfect. Got it. Cool, 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 cool. That is what I had hoped. Appreciate it. I know on my other game that I had played, it was the master worker, or it was the workers one. So it was getting 3 workers. I wasn't sure if the development one was associated with that, but makes sense. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, I did my turn. It is the AI's turn. It's Rachel's turn. They're going to come back to Earth. So their worker comes back. They get 2 victory points. 1, 2. Yeah. What is I doing? They got their 2 victory points. This person goes away. This cruise goes away. And now they will perform their action. So we shuffled this. Their worker goes here. They cannot bump themselves out, so we'll just go to the next spot. And in this case, since they're bumping out the expert worker and my player is not there, it's going to go to an empty space. They're going to perform the agenda action, which is there. They're going to gain 2 of them. Discard them. And then since they're on that action, they're going to take another one. And now this action is available to them because their first worker costs less than 7. So 2 times 3 is 6. So they're going to be able to get this worker out. And it's going to go on here. Now their expert worker gets 2 funding bonuses. So they're going to get 2 victory points. Oops, I'll just go here. 1 and 2. And then another rules question for you. Do they get this ability as well? I assumed they did, but unsure about that. And this one is whenever their expert worker bumps somebody out, they get a funding bonus. Okay, to me, we're going to do a day in space. And so a day in space is this up here. So for my orange workers, I get money. For my purple workers, I get reputation. For my blue workers, I get ads. So down here, I have 1 family and 2 family activities. So that's 2. So I get 2 ads. And then for my purple, I have 2 relaxing activities and 1 relaxing customer. So that is 2 reputation. 1, 2. My reputation has gone up. So anytime now that I want to use somebody else's development or technology, I just have to pay 1 money and I can use that. Okay, now for my action, I'm going to use my expert worker. I'm going to bump this out here. I get a funding bonus because I bumped them out, so I'm going to gain a resource. Let's gain an oxygen. I'm going to get a ship. These should have been refilled. Okay, so this one scores 3 victory points for every empty sector down here. This one scores 5 points for every set of technologies. That one seems pretty good because I'm probably going to get another technology out there. This one scores 4 points for every 3 or more ship. And this one scores 3 points for every 2 developments. This is probably the best one right now, but I don't get an agenda card. Interesting. Let's go in here. Rachel's experts never gain the given expert ability. Perfect. Got it. Let's do this one for now. So I'm going to get an ad. I have tons of ads. We'll get a resource and 2 victory points. Then this will come here. So that was my first action, getting a rocket. I don't see why not. I could get that real big cruise up here. It's going to cost 5 gas. There's a way for me to do it for sure. Each person only costs 1 ad to advertise to. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to, oh no, scheduling cruise. Oh, okay. I don't have to schedule that cruise. I'm just going to advertise to it. So I'm going to pay 3 ads. We're going to advertise to this cruise here. And so that's going to be, each of them only cost 1 ad for me. So it doesn't matter. We'll go here. So I will gain 2 money and 2 reputation. 1, 2. Okay. Those are both of my actions. Now we're going to Rachel. Rachel does have a worker. Go here, bump this one out, and then it's actually going to bump me out. I get a funding bonus. We'll get a resource. Rachel is going to take this action, gaining resources. So there is nothing to gain from here. And I believe if there's no cards, it's going to do the first one that it can't fill. Which in this case, it can't fill any of them. So maybe it's just the lowest one, I think. Rachel refills first resource that she was unable to take. So the first one that she's unable to take. On the top card of the agenda card. I got it. Okay, so we're going to see this action here. She's going to see if she can take 3 food because there is food up there. And she can't take 3 food because there's only 2 food available. So instead, what she's going to do is she's going to bump it up and gain a reputation. And she is not on that space for that action, but she is adjacent to that space. I am not there, so she doesn't have to pay anything, but she still can perform a separate action because she is adjacent to that space. So that separate action that she's going to do is take 2 agenda cards. There are no agenda cards for her to take, so she is going to build. And she's going to start with number 1 and 2. And she's going to build onto these ships here. And that is actually going to complete this goal for her there, which is having 6 sectors and ships. So that is this goal. So now I need 8 sectors and ships. So if I want to complete that goal, I am going to need 3 of them. And it's going to send out this cube there. So they've got a cube up there. Okay. That is Rachel's actions. Now for my actions over here, we're going to advance in space. We are going to drop this off in the purple. Now the purple is, I'm going to get an upgrade. So the upgrades are here are, I can have an extra person on my cruise ship if I pay 2 reputation. Anytime I pass a reputation space, I can get an extra reputation bump, or all of my workers act as expert workers, giving me that expert ability. It's funding bonuses. Maybe we try this. I do this. All my workers will be expert workers. Don't forget to refill blueprints and cockpit engines. Oh, thank you, will do. So then we will score, we have to pay for ads. So purple matches a purple destination, so we don't have to advertise to them too much, so that only costs 1. And then blue, we have to pay 2 ads to advertise to them. So that is 3 ads total, and that's going to score me 8 victory points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we'll refill these blueprints. And we'll refill these cockpits. Okay. So that was my day in space. Now I get to perform my action. Let's build. Yeah. So we're going to go here. We'll bump it out. Oh, it doesn't go anywhere. It bumps back to its. It gets 1 victory point. I'm going to build. And we'll build these 2, which actually is free for me because they're both just 1 money. So those go in for free. This should be flipped over. And then I'll perform a development action. Why do I do a development action? I don't need a development action just yet. I've built. Let's get 2 more blueprints. Yeah, let's get 2 more blueprints. Let's do, I don't like those. I could always spend a reputation to refill those. I mean, they're fine if I'm going to go on that cruise, but I don't know if I'm going to go on that cruise. Purple and blues are good. I forgot something, and I'll go back in a second to do that. Doesn't matter. Let's get this one and this one. Those will refill. Okay, just real quickly, a couple turns ago when I was doing my day out in space, I forgot that I had this technology. My pilot could act as an additional of any color. So when I was back over here, I'll do a reputation, so that would have get me a bump up there. So sorry about that. Should have done that a while ago. Just forgot. So there's that. I did my actions. Good. Now we're going over to Rachel. They're going to go here. They're going to launch a ship. Dang it. That's going to complete their final goal also. So they're launching this one. They're going to prioritize a different ship. And so, their worker doesn't go out there. He comes over here. Okay. This is the only one that's available. So it's going to take this. Well, no, I'm sorry. It's going to take number 3, which is this one. And then we need people. So it's going to take, which people does it take? She then takes any guest next to the cruise. If no guests were pre-sold, she'll sell last-minute tickets to matching guests from the queue. Okay, so matching guests, purple. No, matching guest is orange, so this one. And then nobody else, so another orange. I believe that's how it works. Let me just double check that again. Following rules from advertising. Yeah, it's orange. Okay. She is then going to place a cube out, making this one a little bit better for her. I need to get a cube out quickly. They're going to pay gas, so they only have 3, which is enough for 2. They're going to score their ship. So this is going to be 3, 4, 5, 8, 9 points. They're at 31, so they're going to go to 40. They're going to place this down here. And then they are going to launch. So we'll get a new cruise out. Purples go down, and then 2 purples come out. Hey, good morning, Ian. Thank you for being here. Hopefully everything's going well with you. Okay. They did their action. That's it for them. Coming over to me. Do I want to go ahead and do this cruise now? That would get me the cube. That would get scoring going. I'm not going to have a ton of scoring. I'd like to have another goal. The goals are pretty hard right now, though. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to do 3 builds or launch out 2 ships. Not sure how I could do that just yet. Before that, we will come back to Earth. I get a funding bonus, which we will do an advertisement. Funding bonus. I got my advertisement. These go away. Maybe I just build. Oh, I could build if I go there. I can build and schedule. Building's not worth it. I need to get another engine and cockpit. Okay, let's go. Let's go here. Bump this guy out, so that will get me a funding bonus. They're going to get 2 victory points for that. I get a funding bonus. Let's just do some resources. Let's get this. You know what? No, it's okay. I already started this. I was going to say I could just send out that ship again, but we're not going to do that. We'll do that in a second. So I'm going to get cockpits here. Let's do this one. So immediately I get 2 resources. 1, 2, and a money. Okay. And then I'm going to advertise to some more people because it's real cheap for me. But why do I want to advertise? I don't think I necessarily need to advertise. Maybe get more blueprints. Let's get more blueprints while we're here. And let's do orange. That's fine. These will come back. All right, so I'm at 4 blueprints. We're hoping they don't have a big scoring round here. Ian, things are good. We had a busy weekend. I did get Vantage played. I'm still waiting for mine to ship. I have a couple of PD days this week before officially beginning back next week. Summer's almost gone. Yeah, I go back on Monday. This Friday is technically our first day back, but we have an exchange day, so I've done a lot of PD hours over the summer. But yeah, next Monday I will be going back. Okay, so I'm done there. Let me move my coffee cup here. All right, so now we're moving on to Rachel. They're going to go here. They can't go there. They're going to bump me out. It's going to give me a funding bonus. Let's get a resource. They're going to build. So they will get, let's move these down. They're going to get number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to get number 2, which is this one. It says 2 funding bonuses on there, so they're going to get 2 funding bonuses as their bonus. So 2 points. 1, 2. Oh, I'm sorry. They go out into space, so they're going to get 2 reputation. 1, 2. And then they're doing their action. They are not adjacent to the build, so they will only do that 1 action. Ian, how long did your have you played Vantage? But I did get Vantage. How much was your first? How long was your first playthrough of Vantage? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to launch a cruise. If I launch a cruise, gets me a cube. That's fine. I'm going to launch a cruise. So we're going to go here. And, I haven't scheduled a cruise. I'm not going to launch a cruise. So we're going to schedule a cruise. I'm bumping this person out, so I get a funding bonus. Let's go there. So we're going to schedule a cruise. We're going to go here. And when I schedule a cruise, I get to flip over something down here. Let's flip over this development one for developments cost -4. So I pay 2. And we'll do this oxygen one. Let's put it here. Or actually, let's put it here. So I've scheduled my cruise. I did that. And now I'm going to refill the agendas. So I'm going to get a resource. I'm going to get a money. I'm going to get an ad and a reputation. Immediate installation, you may choose a non-paired cockpit, then you may build into that ship. Let's see, I struggled immensely through it, and it took my hours, but I was just missing some things that I wasn't understanding. I watched Rodney's video, clarified tons of things. I'll be getting it played again. It's asking a lot of questions. I've heard some people say it's taking anywhere between like 3 to 6 hours, kind of depending. I haven't even looked. What is the wait on the game for that one? Okay, so I've performed my 2 actions. I scheduled the cruise, and then I refilled the agenda. So now we're going to Rachel. Oh, yeah. Now we're going to Rachel. Please don't put out a cube, Rachel. Oh, I'm sorry. Before that, they're going to move up. They're going to drop this off there, and then they're going to score 3, 4, 5 points per person. So that's 10 points. So they're going to 54. Rachel's kind of taken off on me right now. I need to start doing some stuff. Okay. And now for their action, they actually don't have any workers, so they're going to recall them. And they're going to get 3 funding bonuses, which is 6 points. So they're at 60. All right, we're going to do. We're going to launch a ship. So we're going to do this one. Which one is worth more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is worth 3. So we're going to go here. Just launching this ship again. The person goes back. I don't have any passengers, so I have to do a last-minute advertisement, which is fine because everybody only costs 2. And I'm going to do a blue and purple worker. Maybe I do purple workers only. It doesn't matter. Blue and purple. We're going to place out a cube, which is going to trigger this scoring at the end of this. I'm going to pay my resources, so that's 3 for 3 people. It is 2 gas, and then it is 3 oxygen. I'm going to score my top one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. 29. Oh, hold on. No. Let's go back 5 points. Let's ship this one. And let's just take 1 person. I'll take an add back. We're going to score this one. It's going to get me 3 points, but and it's actually 1 less oxygen and 1 less food. 3 points. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to drop this off here. I don't know. This one might be better. That's okay. We'll refill this. It's going to get 1 orange out there. Okay, and then this person comes here. They will start their journey. Okay. It's sitting at 2.56, but only has 56 votes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very interested to get it. Like I said, I haven't even gotten any tracking info on it yet. So, okay, we're triggering a round here, or a scoring round. So it is what it is. It's actually okay. We should be getting the same amount of points. So 2 times 2 is 4 for them. Let me move this down a little bit. So 61, 2, 3, 4. And then I have 2 cubes because I'm ahead in the reputation. And that's 4 also. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I got to get 1 more ship out there. Last thing here, we're going to do another little add of these. So this one goes here. This one goes here. This one goes there, which it can't. I'm sorry, it went there. Then it went here, which it doesn't. And here, which it doesn't. So I don't think those go out. I'll have to double check. They might just go clockwise. That would make sense. 2-player. Off to the side. Refer. If there's already development of that color, skip that placement. Okay. So they don't get it. And then this one turns there. Okay, so we are very quickly approaching the end of the game here. I sent out, and they are on their turn. So they're going to go here, which bumps me. I'm going to get a resource. They're going to get 3 resources. So that is 1, 2, 3. They're going to get 1 of each. They cannot get gas. So instead, they are going to refill the gas. So that goes all the way to the top. And they gain a reputation. They are adjacent to, they went there, they're adjacent to that section. They do have to pay me 1 coin for it. And they perform another action. They're going to get 2 agenda cards, 5, there is no 5, so 4 and 1. Okay. All right, now it's my turn. We're going to advance in space. We're going to score victory points here. So orange, I'm sorry, purple. This is going to drop off in purple. Let's get this one. Whatever, let's get this one. When I bump my reputation, I get another one. And then we're going to score. So I have to pay an ad. And that's going to be 5 points. 36. Now for my action, I'm going to go ahead and build. So we're going to bump this one out. And it bumps this one out. I get a funding bonus. It gets a funding bonus. It gets 1 point. I get a resource. These are flipped. I just realized that. This is how it should be. These need to refill. Okay, so I went here. I need to build, and we're going to build just some cheapos. Well, maybe let's build some decent ones. Blue and orange. 3. This will cost me 3. This cost me 3. I've got a lot of money. 1, 2. And those go up here. Ooh, let's, yep. All right, I have completed a goal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have not completed a goal. I have to build 1 more. Dang. Oh, that's okay. Okay, so I just built. And now I'll get my other master worker. So he's going to cost me 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get my next expert worker out. And that's going to give me a funding bonus. I'll take a food. Okay. Let me scoot these over just a little bit. Okay. Rachel's turn. They are going to attempt to buy. They're going to go here, which bumps me out, which gets me a funding goal. Money. I should definitely go for this first. Got a funding goal. They went there. They're going to try to build their next master worker. It doesn't cost 4, it costs 6. So they're not going to do that. They're going to put out a technology. And it's going to go on number 2, which is here. They are adjacent to that technology. So they're going to do another action. Excuse me. Dang it. They're going to send out another ship. And they've actually sent out 2 ships. So this... Oh, I screwed up there at one point. Let's see. We're going to have to go back here a little bit. I thought it was 3 ships. It's 2. So let's see, victory point wise. This would have taken me 2 points back. Because I would not have had that. They shipped this out before I shipped mine out. So I'd have 2 less victory points. 1, 2. They would have 3 times. This would go here. This would go here. 3 times 3 would have been 9. So they get 1, 2, 3 more victory points. Don't like that. Okay. Sorry about that. That was a misplay on my part before, which also means the end of the game is a lot sooner than what it's supposed to, than what I thought. Okay. So Rachel's sending out a ship, and they're going to send out this one. So what they do is they go to 1, which is this one. Before that, actually, they come back home. They get a funding bonus. These go away. This goes away. Right, now they're sending out their people. And these 2 come here. This person comes here. Cube goes up. No, 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 no. They do not have enough gas for that, so they have 3, so they need to go back 3. 1, 2, 3. So they're going back a long way on the reputation track. I came all the way back here. They're going to score the ship. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to place this here. And then they're going to launch. So we will refill the cruise. Oranges and purples go down. And then an orange and a purple come out. Okay. So that is their turn. Now it's coming to me. And I got to do something here. So we're going to advance our day in space. My pilot gets to be any color. So I want my pilot to be reputation, which is purple, I think. Yeah. So that's going to be 2 purples times 1 is 2. So that's 2 reputation, 1, 2. With this, I get an extra one, so I'm sitting at 15. And that is it for the day in space. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we're going to get one more turn, hopefully, or, well, there's a couple more, but developing can get me a lot of points. What am I going to do? Build this one out, gets me some good points. I'm going to go here. I'm going to build my last ship. We'll do this one. It cost me 2. Oh, which gives me the goal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I launch on my very last turn, I guess. Oh no, that doesn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can't launch on my very last turn. I could. No, I can't. So maybe that's not what we do right now. We don't build that. Back my 2 coins. I know we'll do. We'll do that at the end, maybe. Completing goals or launching ships right now ends the game. So we don't necessarily want to do that just yet. I do need to schedule a cruise though. So let's go here. I get a funding bonus. It gets a funding bonus. Get an ad. I get a funding bonus. It gets a funding bonus. Scheduling a cruise. Need a purple. I don't have enough gas to send that one. I don't need a purple. Blue is good. So we'll schedule that one. We will gain 4 resources. Oh, I do have enough for it, I think. Yeah, we're going to do this one. 4 resources. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Scheduled my cruise. And then let's put out a development. It's going to cost 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's fine. That's going to be, I have 6 money. And I'm going to pay a food. And that's going to go here. And I can do that development action for free because my reputation is good. Okay, that's my action. Let's see what Rachel does. Cool. She's going to advertise to guests on number 3, 1, 2, 3. And she's going to advertise this one and this one. They should have gone out to space. They're going to get 10 points. They're sitting at 86. They are crushing me right now, which is terrible. And then I'm sorry, they should have gone here. That is that action, so they're going to do another one. And they're finally going to buy this person and get 2 more victory points. 1, 2. I'm glad they could buy that person because I don't want them to do that. Okay, for me, I think this is it. We're going to come back to space and get a funding bonus, get 1 victory point. No, this isn't it. We're going to build. And go there. We'll build these 2 things. So that's going to cost 3. Ooh, I don't have money anymore. I spent it all on that development. What do I do? Schedule guests. That would only get me that'll get me 2 money. Okay. What am I doing? That'll let me build. Building. We have to finish the round, then we get to do 1 more round. If I build, that makes this end, then they have 1 more turn here, and then we both have 1 more. Okay. I'm going to build. First, we're going to schedule. So we need to pay 2 ads. And then we're going to get these 2 here. Oops. I'm only going to do 1. So pay 1 ad. I don't want to lose reputation at the end. Actually, it's okay. Yeah, we're going to do that. That gets me 2 money and 2 reputation. 1, 2. Since I have that thing, I can go up 1. And then we will build. And we're only going to build 1. And it's going to be for free. Let's do this one. And it costs 2. All right, so I did complete the final goal here of 8. Well, I say the final goal, but I filled in this thing here finally. So we can still put more cubes out. It's going to have 1 more turn, and then we'll do a couple more things. So for its final turn, we need to shuffle their cards. Man, I am going to get destroyed in this game. There's no way I don't. That's tough. I mean, we'll see, but oops. Okay. So what it's going to do, it's going to schedule guests. So it can't. So it's going to go here and here. It bumps me out. I'll get a victory point. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not. That's not where it should have gone. It should have gone here, but it still would have bumped me out. It's going to perform this action on number 2. It doesn't do that, so it's going to advertise here. And it just goes there. No, it gets 2 blues. I believe it gets 2 reputation. 1, 2. Okay. It's not connected to that action, so it's not going to do another action. So that is it for the normal thing. It's about the friends you made along. Yes, Jeff. Haven't made very many friends on this one, I'll tell you that. Okay. So what we do now is we recall our workers. This is not a break, but we're just recalling our workers. And that's going to get me 2 more victory points. It recalls its workers. And I'm sorry, it should have advanced its day in space. It gets 1, 2, 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. It should have gone to blue here. Oh, this would have been dropped off. Would have gotten 2 more. Blue, it gets 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This thing's crushing me. Okay. Now we get 1 more round. So I have to launch. And so we'll take my cruise from here. We'll take my people. I don't know why I advertised to a purple. The day in space, I guess. This comes out. Place a cube. Cube up here. Resources. It's going to cost me 3 food. It's going to cost me 3 oxygen. It's going to cost me all my gas. I'm going to score my ship. So it's 4 points for every level or 3 sector ship or more. So I've got, what's 4 times 2? That's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Place that down there, did that. And then we go for a cruise. Okay. That was my final action. And now for their final action, they're going to go here. They're going to get agendas. They're on that space. So they're going to get resources. And they'll get 3 food. 1, 2, 3. That's good. That's a fine final action for me from them. Okay, now the last thing that we do, oh, I'm sorry, they should have gone to space, and they would score 6 points. So they're at 105 right now. Okay. So now we do one last thing. So we finish the last round. So the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to advance our people anywhere on any available cruise. So they're just going to go to a day in space and get 2 reputation. I am going to move mine to purple. I'm going to drop off this purple in here. And I'm going to score 6 points for everybody that's in there by paying 3 ads. So there's my 3 ads. So 12 points total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to go ahead and start scoring the final round. So there we go. Like I said, I think they're going to crush me, but that's okay. So scoring. All right, so we have our scoring criteria up here. So what we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is all of our resources divided by 3. Rachel doesn't do that. So all of our resources includes ads, blueprints, agendas, all of that stuff. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 things left over. So I get 1 victory point there. Rachel doesn't do that. Then we're going to go into the scoring up here. So again, it's cubes times goals. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, because my reputation is the highest, times 1, 2, 3. So I'm getting 12 points there. 1, 2. Then we're going up to 69, which is right here. So that was 12 points for me. And then Rachel is going to do 1 times 3. So they're going to get 3, 108 for Rachel. Okay, now we score our reputation track. They don't have anything on here. They didn't make it up to this one. And I made it up to 15 on the reputation track. So I get 15 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 84. Okay. Then we're going to score ship segments. So Rachel is going to get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11 points there. 119. I'm going to get 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 as well. So I'm sitting at 99. Okay. Then we'll score developments. They actually did not unlock this one, which is nice. So they get 5 points there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I unlocked this one, so I get 15 points. So I'm at 114. Uh-oh, coming up a little bit, catching up. Okay, and then we score cockpits. So let me just double check how to score their cockpits. I think it's the same as it is during the game. Rich scores a VP printed on each cockpit plus the VP on each segment. Yeah, so it's the same as they did before. So here they're going to get 1. They had 15, I believe. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. Okay, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't remember if I did that right or wrong. We'll have to go back and double check. Anyway, they're going to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, plus 3 is 15, plus 4 is 19, 4, 7, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 10, 43. So they're sitting at 143. And then minus 5 because they did not launch this ship here. This one here. They didn't launch this ship. So 138 for Rachel. I just have to make up 20-something points. So that's actually doable. Let's see. 1 per every sector that's built out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 points for that one. And that's going to get me to 122. This one is 3 points per pair of technologies. Oh, I shouldn't have put that one there. I should have put it up there. I thought this was developments. This one is the technologies one. Oh well, that gets me 3 points. 1, 2, 3. That's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. I read that wrong. And then 4 points for every level or 3 level ship or more. So that's 8 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. So there we go. We are sitting at 133 to 138. And that is all the scoring done. 3 VP per 2 devs built for you. So I believe this one, though, I think this one is the technology ones. So that's the technology ones. I didn't get sets of technologies. That's okay. Man, that was closer than what I thought it was going to be. So that is definitely pretty good. I let it run away with the goals at the beginning. But 5-point loss, not too bad. No, 3 VP per 2 devs built. Okay, so let's see. I gave myself 3, so that would be 3, 6, 9. So I need to add 6 more points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 39. If that's right, then I win by 1 point. So if that's true, which it is because Kinson Key is in here reminding me of that, then that means that I won by 1 point, which feels pretty sweet. But yeah, that was Galactic Cruise. Massive game. Took just about 2 hours, I would say, with like the teach at the beginning. So that was about a 2-hour playthrough. And of course, it always takes longer whenever I'm here explaining the games and all that kind of stuff. So you're correct. That is that symbol. That is that one. A Cinderella story. Kinson Key, I appreciate you being here in the chat, checking that. I know there's a lot of little overhead that kind of gets not skipped over on purpose, but things could happen since we're streaming and talking. But I appreciate you being in here, checking some rules for me here and there. Like you mentioned, you're going to be at Gen Con, or Kinson Key is going to be at Gen Con. So if you are at Gen Con, go check them out. They're going to be they're going to have a booth there, and I'm looking for the booth number. I know it's in here somewhere. I can't find it, but they're going to be there. Go ahead and check them out. All the demos are officially sold out, but they do have the library. So go check that out. Again, this game was provided by the publisher, who is here in the chat, for content purposes, but this is my 5th play of the game, and I am enjoying it so far. It is big, so make sure that you have a big table ready for it, but it's definitely worth it. The juice is worth the squeeze in this one. So appreciate you guys being here. Like I mentioned before, this is my last Monday stream because I do go back to work on Monday. School starts back up here in Texas, so need to start getting our stuff set up there. Devin and I did record a 2-player playthrough of this game that will be coming out, if not next week, then the following week. So be on the lookout for that. Plays pretty similar to this, except the other person is making choices and it's not cards. So that is it for me. Again, thank you for being here. As always, remember to like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff really does help us. It helps our channel grow. Hope you have a good start to your week. See y'all later.